Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Off the Mark, or really, is it an episode? I don't really know.
It's another video. Thanks for tuning in. I'm the Big Sarge. This is Mark.
And today we're we're currently riding out a hurricane, and we figured that since we're together, we might as well do a little bit of a different video than what we normally do. We don't actually have a bunch of training stuff today, but what we do have is kind of something that you'll see a lot of gun tubers or just YouTubers in general go over, and that's reviewing stuff that they've bought. And
we have no sponsors. Despite my profession, this rifle and all this kit is not financed by the U.S. military-industrial complex. Unfortunately, I have to bankroll my own personal stuff because they frown upon taking things from work.
And I kind of just enjoyed building stuff, so this isn't even all from the same manufacturer. I put all this together on my own, so you get some give and takes with some of this stuff. And we're kind of going to go over what fit within our budget, why we bought it, how it's treated us, what was good about it, what was wrong about it,
what we want to change, because I would like to change a lot, actually.
And hopefully we'll have some tips and stuff for you guys in case you guys want to start out budget and work your way up.
Especially if you're just starting out like we are.
Or if you eventually want to kind of upgrade, or if you want to just save up and buy something really nice later.
After my experiences with what I've got right here, I am starting to lean very heavily into the opinion of buy once, cry once. Especially since most of this my tactical gear that I want is cry precision. That's neither here nor there.
But I mean, I don't even have a plate carrier, so
yeah. So is your opinion really that valid?
I don't know. Is it?
Especially without a ruck. Like, what are you gonna do?
Shoot you?
Gotta see me first.
Hey, blue jeans work just fine.
Well, there is that one blue jean guy.
Yep. Blue jean operator's not bad.
Yeah.
Anyway,
back on topic.
So there's a couple of things that are budget that are quality, and there are some things that are budget that are not so quality. Cheap doesn't always mean bad, but cheap doesn't always mean good. You're compromising somewhere no matter what you buy. If you can find something that was good quality control for a decent price, go ahead, snap it up. But we're kind of going to start breaking into some of the more fine details of what we bought, why we bought it, what we think about it, and kind of what brands we do and don't recommend. All right, but before we get started with that, we're going to go over the 4 basic rules of firearm safety.
Take number 3. All right, before we get started, let's go over the 4 universal firearm safety laws. Number 1, treat every weapon like it's loaded.
Number 2, don't point your weapon at anything you're not willing to destroy or take the life of.
Number 3, keep your finger straight and off the trigger until the decision to fire has been made.
And number 4, always know your target, what's behind it, and I would also add a caveat to that, know what material what you are shooting at behind has as well. Brick and sheetrock are 2 very different substances.
Rifle rounds will go through both, though.
Yes, depending on the brick. But
yeah. All right. So now that we've covered that, let's go ahead and make sure our weapons are safe. So first step, remove ammunition feeding device. Drop your magazine. I'm going to go ahead and put mine in my dump pouch here.
I just put mine in my pocket because I'm wearing jeans, so.
I am not, but I have a dump pouch.
I don't have one,
which is what it's for. All right. Now the ammunition feeding device has been removed, check that there is nothing in the chamber, look away, and look back, because your brain will play tricks on you. My weapon is safe.
Mine's safe.
All right, I'm going to do the same with my handgun. Principles are the same. Remove ammunition feeding device, check that there is nothing in the chamber, and look away and look back, because your brain will play tricks on you. My handgun is also safe. All right. So now that we have ensured that our firearms are safe, let's go over what we have on our rifles.
So Mine is kind of a smorgasbord of different parts and stuff from different areas. I have a, let me show the camera, Palmetto State Armory.
You don't typically want to show your serial number.
True. I have a Palmetto State Armory lower receiver, a Temu stock that's actually been fairly decent to me. I bought it because I was seeing if it would be any good at all. I probably shouldn't have bought something that was from China, but it ended up working.
I mean, all your Holosun optics come from China.
That's true.
This probably came from China. That probably came from China.
This? No.
Yeah.
Made in U.S.
Oh, okay.
Monstrum does their glass in the U.S.
Never mind. That's not Chinese, but this is. Sorry,
so,
I'm broke.
Change the subject. I actually did manage to fix my rifle. It's no longer broken. We've test fired it. It didn't blow up a second time. We're good to go. My bolt carrier group is also Palmetto State Armory. My upper receiver, barrel assembly, that whole shebang is from the Mormons. It's a company based out of Utah called Davidson Defense.
I hear that Mormons make fantastic firearms.
Not to be confused with Daniel Defense, by the way. This is Davidson Defense. It's a 5.56 nitride barrel. I've hit sub MOA out of it. Before the bolt carrier incident, as Big Sarge here can attest, I'd put thousands of rounds on this with no malfunctions or issues, and I had fed it all sorts of crap. From steel case to brass.
I've seen it.
The whole 9 yards. I even fired green tip out of this. I had magazine feed issues with that, but not rifle issues.
The green tip's not that bad, though. It's the A1 that you got to worry about.
I've got a Monstrum
no
tactical LPVO on the top here, and an ambidextrous charging handle from Davidson Defense as well. My total cost before buying the second bolt carrier group was about $650 on this.
Sling, foregrip.
My foregrip,
grip.
It was just an A2. It's A2 and military grade trigger, so nothing fancy or special about it. It gets the job done. I think. Whoops. I think I've got a 5-pound trigger in here instead of a 7-pound, so a little bit nicer than mil spec, but not much.
Is it single or dual stage though?
Single.
Ah.
Yeah, single stage, mil spec trigger.
Mil spec is dual stage or 2-stage.
Nope, not mil spec then. Just a single stage, decent trigger, 5 pounds. The foregrip, I actually couldn't tell you the brand. I bought this forever ago, and I can't remember. I bought it at a local firearms store because I wanted a foregrip, and it was there for 30 bucks. So, and it just, you twist it, loosen it, comes off, put it back on.
Oh, so just like the CAC one.
Yeah.
Just with a different shape.
Yep. Exactly like your foregrip, just a little bit. Got a little bit more grooves there for ergonomics, that kind of thing. But yeah, that's my entire setup for the most part. I did have some backup 45 canted iron sights on here, but after his Tacticon iron sights broke on him when we were at the range for that video, I nixed those and went back to just LPVO. I will probably in the future, because I plan on getting a first focal plane LPVO instead of a second, go with a different M-lock rail on here at some point, or handguard, and kind of swap some things out. And that's short-term plans. Long-term plans for the future are to save up and buy either an LMT monolithic upper and the barrel assembly to go with that, or a BCM upper assembly and throw my lower. Because my lower is perfectly functional. There's no issues with it. It's only the upper that would really need to be changed for this to be a rifle that would outlive me. And that's my rifle, and I think he's going to go over his, and then we'll go over handguns.
So that makes it my turn. All right, so I've got here a Delton Inc. 16-inch AR-15 with an M-lock rail. Pretty much exactly how it comes from Delton. The only modification I've made is swap out the stock and swap out the bolt carrier group and add the iron sights and the optics. because this rifle did not even come with the iron sights and the optics. It literally, or the foregrip now that I think about it. But it's advertised as a completely mil-spec rifle. Nothing about this rifle is mil-spec at all, except the A2 handgun, or pistol grip.
We can just
I bet you we look like schizos right now, just standing out in the rain, getting pissed on by the rain with rifles.
Listen, God's crying for us right now.
All right.
Anyway.
Where was I? Oh,
A2 pistol grip.
Yeah, so other than the A2 pistol grip, nothing about this rifle is mil-spec. The trigger is not a mil-spec two-stage trigger. It is a single-stage, probably 5-pound trigger.
Which is not awful.
But it's single-stage. So they say it's mil-spec, but it's not. The bolt carrier group that came with the rifle was a semi-auto only bolt carrier group. It's a carbine gas.
It ended up being a bolt action.
I'm getting to that. I'm getting to that. But it's a carbine gas, 16-inch with about a 14.5-inch M-LOK rail and handguard. When I bought the rifle, it came with the steel mag, or aluminum, I think. I don't know. It came with this mag, and that was it. It literally just came with the rifle and the mag. When I decided when I bought it, I also bought these flip-up iron sights, and that was all I had and all I ran for a long time until I found what I thought would be a fantastic deal. So I went and I bought myself this Tacticon red dot, and with that red dot, I also bought a magnifier and their flip-up iron sights. And because their flip-up iron sights would fit underneath the magnifier, and I would be able to have backup iron sights as well as the red dot and magnifier without it just absolutely eating up all of this rail space here. However, my iron sights failed. Let me say that again. The iron sights failed.
They broke while we were at the range.
Already covered in a video, but for those who haven't seen it, my red dot is fine. My iron sights failed. So I don't trust this red dot. I'm gonna keep rocking it until I can afford to replace it, or until it breaks, whichever happens first. In the meantime, I've got these old reliable flip-up backup irons that I'll actually use if, you know, shit were to hit the fan per se. But I'm not going to trust this optic beyond just plinking at the flat range. I also have on it this Knights Armament Company broom handle foregrip that may or may not have fallen off of a truck. And the reason that it is on my rifle is because it's free. Now, me personally, I don't hold it like a foregrip. I give it the little C-clamp and essentially use it as a hand stop. But, you know, just having something there that I didn't have to pay for, because, let's face it, the Army doesn't pay me very much. I'm a little bit broke. So, yeah.
And how much would you say you had spent in total on your rifle?
Optics included, like $600.
Oh, I didn't include my optics. I'm $800 in the hole if I include optics on this thing.
No, optics included, I'm at $600, which is probably, like,
whereas
part of the reason I'm not going to trust this optic is how inexpensive it was. And by inexpensive, I actually mean cheap, because they don't necessarily mean the same thing.
No.
And with that being said, there's no reason why a rifle should be a semi-automatic gas-operated AR-15 style rifle should turn into a bolt action at about 750 rounds. Absolutely no excuse. If your quality control and product manufacturing is that bad, you need to reevaluate some things.
Yep.
There is no excuse for that. So it was the bolt carrier group that was the cause of the problems, and it's fully functional now. But the bolt carrier group that came with this got to about 750 rounds, and then the rifle was bolt action from then on.
The ammo, so...
Oh, my charging handle is just a mil-spec charging handle also. My plans for the future, though, for this rifle, I want to completely replace this upper receiver with a BCM upper receiver. And I want one with the fixed front sight post and a bayonet mount, so that I can actually use the bayonet that my dad gave me. It is just a US M7 bayonet, but I wanna be able to put that on my rifle. So I want to get the BCM rifles with the bayonet mount, but I want a mid-length gas system. So 16 inches will still be my barrel length. It will also still be M-LOK because they make that. So I'll keep the weight savings of the M-LOK there, which I'm kind of happy about because ounces equals pounds.
A little bit of a side note, neither of us are really big fans of 14.5 or shorter barrels.
You lose too much velocity.
We understand that a lot of people like a 14.5 with a suppressor, but
I'm broke. I'm probably not going to be able to afford a suppressor anytime soon.
And even if we could afford suppressors, I would probably still end up going with a 16-inch suppressed, just because as you go shorter, the less velocity you have. And let's be honest, Marines in Fallujah and Kuwait were kicking indoors.
20-inch muskets. And they were killing people just the same with the 20-inch muskets.
And let's be honest, it's flying in about Mach 2 dead out of a 20-inch, and it's
also
not
known as Mach Jesus.
Not,
some people would say Mach FU.
It's not, and you're losing so much the shorter the barrel length you go. Now, a lot of people knock on 16-inch, but we're in the United States. You're going to have a lot of woods and or a lot of open spaces. There's not really much in between. You're either short range or long range.
Personally, 16 inch is the shortest I would want to go. That's just me, though.
And
you don't have to take that as gospel because, you know, I'm just a talking guy on the internet. What do I know?
But that's our personal opinion. If we're going for close quarters CQB, I'm probably going to do what I heard the Israelis did and go clear it with my handgun. If I absolutely have to, I don't have a weapon light on my rifle. I've got a light on this. If I need to go clear a house in the dark, I'm grabbing my handgun every day of the week.
I'd still rather have a rifle because a rifle will drop somebody faster than a pistol. But I currently don't have a weapon light. That's one of the in progress plans later. But right now I don't have a weapon light. So with that being said, this is the weapon light I have. It's what I'll use if it's dark.
So to be clear, we also have different specialties. I've gotten a lot more handgun training, and I trust my life to a handgun a lot more than I do my life behind a rifle, just because I have not spent as much time as I probably should getting familiar with my weapon system beyond just the flat range. I don't train clearing my house with this. I don't go do the sort of training I should do. Whereas every chance I get, I do dry fire drills with my handgun. I go and clear my house with it. I'm more familiar with a handgun and its operation than I am with a rifle.
I'm the other way around. I'm more familiar with the operation and using of a rifle than I am with a handgun, just from the nature of my work. I am not one of the cool guys that the Army gives a handgun to. I'm just a regular guy, and regular guys get a 14.5-inch M4A1 with a red dot on it, which is why I went with the red dot initially. But again, back to future plans, I would like to eventually swap this red dot for an ACOG. I want a 4X Trijicon ACOG, the Prism Optic. I'm leaning away from holographic or projected reticles like a red dot. I want an etched reticle, and I want a fixed magnification because me personally, LPVOs have too many moving parts, too many moving pieces of glass. I'd rather have something that is set it and forget it. A 4X Trijicon ACOG is actually my goal to put on my rifle, as well as a weapon-mounted light for white light at night. And
for me, I'm probably going to stick with the LPVO. That's what I've used and gotten familiar with, and that's just, honestly, I enjoy it. I'm also half blind, so it actually helps me out a little bit to use that over something else. I can get a little easily tunnel visioned just because of the issue I have seeing on my left side.
And this is going to be fun to edit, I just thought about, because we have gone on so many tangents.
Yep.
But yeah, I think that's pretty much everything with the rifle.
Yeah,
are we forgetting anything?
That's everything with the rifle.
All right.
So, here's the one thing we do both have in common.
I have a PSA Dagger Compact as my concealed carry handgun.
I have a PSA Dagger Compact as my Dagger handgun.
Ours are a little different though. Me personally, because I conceal carry appendix, I want the weapon light, but I want it as compact as possible.
That said, we did go with the same brand though.
So my weapon mounted light is a Streamlight TLR7 X-Ray, because I wanted to be able to also take rechargeable batteries.
And I went with a Streamlight TLR HL1. It's got 1,000 lumens. It's a little bit bigger, but all of my holsters are Streamlight TLR1 compatible. So all I have to do typically is swap my weapon light between different handguns, depending on what my job for them is. Or eventually I plan on getting more weapon lights, and I can just insert them all into any of the holsters I have, and I'm good to go. Because they grip onto the light, not the weapon.
So, that being said, with my handgun, I have two separate holsters. I have one for overt or open carry or whatever you want to call it. And this one is specifically molded for a PSA Dagger Compact with a TLR7. It is made by Bordertown Holsters, and other than the Kydex itself, which is what holds the handgun, all of the parts in the holster are Safariland. So I have the Safariland QLS, I have the holster claw and belt clip. All of that is Safariland. The level 2 retention hood, also Safariland. And I am very happy with this holster. I have no complaints. In fact, I would very highly recommend anybody who has a handgun that they don't know if they make holsters for it, check Bordertown Holsters. So they'll probably have it.
And we're going to go over real quick why we like the Dagger so much. One, it's a fantastic deal. You can get them on sale or not on sale from between $300 to what, $500, depending on what you're trying to get.
Yeah, so my wife's micro dagger with a red dot, so it's the pistol plus an optic, was $500.
I paid...
Mine was just the handgun with night sights, $350.
This was $350. It's got suppressor height sights, a threaded barrel. Mine was $350, and it came with 10 magazines and a carry case. And the one that my wife carries, which was my first Dagger purchase, was identical to the one he has now. We like the aggressive cut here. It's a lot nicer than every Glock we've shot. I'm gonna be honest, the triggers on these are way better than a stock Glock trigger.
Yeah, I like this. I didn't think I would, but this hinge trigger, personally, I like it.
To be honest, I've shot Glocks, I've shot lots of other things. Glocks dig into your finger and eventually become a pain, physical pain, to shoot long term. I put thousands of rounds downrange on handguns, if not tens of thousands. I hate Glocks. I'm gonna be honest, they're reliable, they're cop proof, they're everything proof.
Evidently, SIGs are not.
They're cop proof, but I hate the way they shoot. Yes, they're gonna function the exact same way every time, but this was a better deal. It's got the same durability and reputation now, and I just prefer it over anything else. This is my concealed carry gun, and I've tried a lot of different guns.
And yeah.
I think that's about it. And we're getting soaked here in hurricane weather, so...
Yep.
I think we're about done.
And my wife is laughing at me through the door.
I think we're about done with this one, guys. Anyway, thanks for watching Off the Mark. Sorry if the audio's a little bit cluttered on this one.
And sorry for all the tangents.
If you want us to review more of the stuff we bought, because I do have more guns that I can review...
or if you want me to go over what I carry on my chest rig, both for the plate carrier, both for the Army and for personal use,
leave a comment, subscribe, just let us know what you think, what you want in the future. We're willing to do pretty much anything to try and not just take the channel off, but to like help you guys learn, help you guys see new things and what you might want to buy. So yeah, that's all I can think of.
I'm wet.
I'm wet too.
Thank you for watching today's episode of Off the Mark. If you have any suggestions, please leave a comment. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, maybe even a subscribe if you feel we deserve it. Our goal is to provide educational content and firearm safety so that more people can safely enjoy their Second Amendment rights and use their firearms. So if that's what you want to see, that's what we'll produce more of. Well, actually, that's what we'll produce more of whether you like it or not, but if that's what you want to see, this is the place to be. If you want us to also include other things, let us know. We don't know what you want to see unless you tell us. So please leave a like, leave a comment, maybe even a subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Yeah. Gotta
Yeah.
sync the audio.
No, I don't.
Oh, you don't
Because
gotta,
the
you don't
camera-
gotta.
No, the camera's completely just
Wow.
synced to this mic now. I don't have to sync audio.
Oh, because you got it plugged in.
Yeah,
Okay.
and we're recording, so this could
Yeah.
be totally the intro.
Yeah, this blooper reel intro, whatever you want to use it for.
I'm not gonna even bother putting the mag back in. Well, I might as well. I just said I did, but I don't have mine holstered at the moment, so.
All right.
You can go ahead.
We just cut that out.
Yeah, we can get that out.
Number 1, always treat your weapon as if it's loaded.
Number two,
keep your finger up and off the trigger until the decision to fire has been made. Sorry, I didn't realize you were trying to alternate there. You go ahead with 3 and 4.
firearm safety rule number 3, never point your weapon at something that you don't intend to destroy. And number 4, always treat a weapon like it's loaded.
Now, know your target and what's beyond. Because we already covered that with number 1. That's always number 1.
We can just redo this.
All right.
All right, before we do this, we're going to go ahead and get started with the 4 basic rules of firearm safety. Number 1, don't point your weapon at anything you don't intend to destroy.
Brother. Number 1 is always treat every firearm like it's loaded.
I'm just screwing up today.
All right.